Hello and welcome to the Box Score Breakdown. I'm your host, William Harris, aka William is Bill, and we are back with another great episode of the Box Score Breakdown presented to you by FanDuel. Follow us on X at Ethos Fantasy NBA, at SportsEthos, and you can follow myself at William is Bill. So on the Box Score Breakdown, we bring to you the games of the night, let you know all about the fantasy news, ongoings, injuries on a nightly basis, Monday through Friday. Tim Woodson and myself will have you covered, and we're going to get straight to it like it's nothing to it. We had a Wednesday 9-game slate, so let's talk about it. First game, we had the Hornets defeated the Memphis Grizzlies 112-97, and there's no real surprise. The Hornets are playing well. The Grizz are still figuring things out. Ja came back for a little bit. He's out again. You're not going to win too much without Ja right now. For the Hornets, Miles Bridges, 20 points, 6 boards, 3 assists. Moussa Diabate had a humongous game. 18 points, 19 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block. That is incredible for Moussa Diabate. And he's holding off Ryan Kalkbrenner very well. Like, just when Ryan Kalkbrenner seems like he's getting momentum, Moussa comes in and says, no, I'm not trying to lose my starting gig. We all expect Ryan to eventually get that spot, but he's not ready yet. I'll just go into him. He did not start, of course, Ryan Kalkbrenner, but he played 15 minutes, has 6 points and 4 boards. That was it. So he played when Moussa rested. Moussa played 33 minutes, dominated on the court. 19 rebounds is incredible, and 18 is rare for Moussa. So he really showed out tonight, and that's surprising because it was against Jaren Jackson Jr. So if Moussa's going to play like this, maybe the Hornets don't need to look for an all-star caliber center, and give up a lot of pieces. Moussa's developing quietly in Charlotte, I suppose. Now for Brandon Miller, 26 points, 3 assists. He shot very well tonight. Didn't do much else, but shot very well. LaMelo just easing along, 16 points, 4 assists, 2 steals. Everyone has to be disappointed in LaMelo this year, fantasy-wise. But we're just hoping he can turn it back on, because normally his points are double this. His assists are triple this. His rebounds are way up from this. So he's just easing along. Concanipple, 10 points, 6 assists. And on the bench, no one really did anything of note. I mentioned Kalkbrenner. Sexton had 6 points, 4 and 4. And for the Memphis Grizz, Jaren Jackson that we spoke of, 26 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals. Great game, 50% from the field. But it's just, he really let Moussa Diabate dominate him, especially on the boards. For Moussa to have 19 boards and Jaren Jackson to have 4, that's kind of embarrassing. So, I mean, they did start Jock Landale as well. But at some point, you got 2 bigs down there against the Hornets, 1 big. And Jock Landale had 3 rebounds. So they combined for 7 rebounds, Jaren Jackson and Jock Landale. Moussa had 19. So that's, the coach is going to have to light a fire under that. But Jaren played great offensively. But Cedric Coward had 17 points, 5 assists as he started. Good, very productive game. Jalen Wells, on the other hand, was not. Only 6 points, but he had a steal and a block. Jock Landale, I mentioned the 3 boards. He had 10 points. Cam Spencer, 4 points, 6 assists. And those numbers are just not going to get it done. On the bench, Gigi Jackson had a solid performance. 12 points, 4 boards, a steal, and 2 blocks. That was in 24 minutes. I really think Gigi Jackson should be starting for this team. I don't know why he's not. It's been a struggle to get him on the court for the first few months. And now they're finally playing him, and he's showing he should be playing more, honestly. This team's not going anywhere. They're 18-27. Gigi is a great prospect that needs some development. So Vince Williams had 10, 5, and 4 off the bench. Next game, we had the Cavs blew out the Lakers 129-99. That's a 30-point defeat. Luka Doncic, of course, 29 points, 5 boards, 6 assists. And he would have did more, but it was such a blowout, 30 minutes. Marcus Smart did nothing. DeAndre Ayton, 10 points, 4 boards, and a block. LaRavia, 6 points, 2 steals, and a block. LeBron only had 11 points, 5 assists. He had 6 turnovers and 1 steal. And they gave him a tribute tonight in Cleveland. He got a little emotional about it. It was nice. But I don't know. I guess it hit him in a place where he's really considering this is the ending of his career, either this year or next year, you would have to think. And, I mean, he could have just had an off night, but it was kind of ironic. And off the bench, Gabe Vincent, the only scorer in double figures with 11 points. Bronny James had 8 points and a steal. For the Cavs, Donovan Mitchell, 25, 5 and 5 with a steal. Jalen Tyson, 20 points, 6 and 6 with a steal. Then he made news because he said it's Donovan Mitchell City now. During LeBron's, tribute night. So that people are trying to make that go viral, but I get what Jalen Tyson is saying there. But he's young. But Jarrett Allen, 17 and 9 with a steal. Dean Wade, 11 and 5. Sam Merrill, 4 and 4 assists with a block, but not a good game. DeAndre Hunter showed up, 19 and 3 boards and a steal. Thomas Bryant had 10 and 4 off the bench. Next game, the Pacers defeated the Bulls 113-110. Matas Buzelis, 20 points, 8 boards, and a block. Finally, a good game from Matas. We know he can do even better. Nikola Vucevic, the principal, with 25 and 9 with 4 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. Tremendous game by Vucevic. Kobe White came down to earth a little bit, 14 points, 4 assists, only shot 33% from the field. So, Josh Giddey, even worse. 10 points, 4 boards. He did have 7 assists and a steal, but not a good game for him either. And Jalen Smith had 13 and 11 with a steal off the bench. And Ayo Dosunmu, 19, 4 and 4. But when you look at those starters' numbers, you see only 2 players really play well for this team. You're going to lose when that happens. For the Pacers, Pascal Siakam, 20 points, 5 assists. Jarris Walker, 16 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks. Jarris was just out there to play offense tonight. So if he can get some rebounds, maybe a block, maybe a steal, he'll be a very valuable asset for the Pacers because he's starting now, which he probably should have been the whole time anyway, but I think he was forced to earn his spot. And he's been playing a lot better, but he's got to do more in other places. Andrew Nembhard had a really good game with 18 points, 9 assists, 6 boards, and a steal. Neesmith, 14 points, 4 and 4 with a steal and a block. That's the Neesmith we're used to. Johnny Furphy started, had 7 boards, a steal and a block, but 0 for 4 from the field. Off the bench, Jay Huff, 10 and 7 with 3 steals and a block. And really, Huff just needs to be playing more minutes. And I think Jarris Walker, they played him at the 5 tonight. I don't know if that's something there that he needs. That him and Siakam interchanging. Because Walker is not a 3, but Siakam can play the 3. I don't know. But I really think Jay Huff should be starting for this team. And Jarris Walker and Siakam. But we'll see. Another guy that should be starting is Benedict Mathurin. But he had 15 points, 8 boards, and a steal and an assist off the bench. They're working him back in, so that's why he's not starting. But he did play 28 minutes tonight and played very well. Furphy's going to have to ride the bench if he's not going to be more productive. They're keeping the training wheels on Furphy. He's learning on the job, but he's not being very productive. All right, next game we had the Hawks defeated the Celtics 117-106. Corey Kispert, 13 points. He's just putting up points. He's not going to do much else. Normally 3-pointers, 3 for 5 from the field from the 3. Onyeka Okongwu, He got a bloodied mouth tonight. 17.6 boards, 2 steals, and a block. Jalen Johnson, he was going off early, but he kind of slowed down at the end, but had 19 and 14 with 7 assists. That's an awesome game. Just as the main guy on the team, he shot 16 attempts, shoot 20 attempts every night, 20 plus. But they won, so it's okay. But Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 21 points, 3 assists, and 3 steals. Dyson Daniels, 15 points, 6 boards, 9 assists, 5 steals, and a block. This is a classic Dyson Daniels game. You can just pencil this in every night because this is kind of what he's capable of. 5 steals is crazy, but he's great at it. On the bench, CJ McCollum, 13 and 3 and 1 steal. Luke Kennard, 9 points. That was about it. For the Celtics, Amari Williams started again. I mentioned him last episode. He started. He's getting minutes. He was productive last game. This game he started only 15 minutes, though. Had 2.6 boards, 2 assists, and a block. Interesting that he played only 2 minutes. Luka Garza was back in this one. But Neemias Queta was out. So Luka played 24. Amari played 15. We're going to have to check and see if there's an injury, though, because it's kind of weird that he only played 15 minutes. He played well. 6 boards, a block in 15 minutes. We'll see. But it's still, that shows you how they're trusting him to start. But it's going to depend on Neemias Queta's health if Amari even gets off the bench at all next game. Derek White with 11-4. A steal and a block. Jaylen Brown, 21 and 7 with 3 assists and a block. Peyton Pritchard, 12 points, 4 boards. And Jaylen Brown, 9 for 20 from the field. That's okay. That's almost 50%. You just need more than 21 points from him to win most of the time. And if not, you need Derek White to score more than 11. So, they need some fire punch. Is that what I'm looking for? Offensive punch from this team. It's got to come from Jaylen Brown because no one else is going to do it except for maybe Anthony Simons off the bench. Speaking of Anthony Simon, he had 12 points and a steal. Luka Garza, if I didn't mention, 11, 6 and 6. So that's a really good game for Luka. No blocks, but he did his job off the bench. And Hugo Gonzalez, 10 points, 5 boards, and a block. Did I mention Peyton Pritchard? 12 and 4. We need the scoring from him as well. So that's why they lost. And if you're not familiar, you're listening to the Box Score Breakdown. I'm your host, William Harris, a.k.a. William is Bill. And you may be listening to us on the NBA Fantasy Today podcast with Doc and Brew. They'll be back later today with more of a detailed breakdown analysis of all the fantasy goings on that you need to know about. But for now, subscribe to the Box Score Breakdown. We record live. I'm on X. We're on YouTube right now. So you can submit your comments and questions, and we'll address them daily. So, all right, back to the games. Orlando Magic defeat the Heat 133-124. Paolo, another great game with 31 and 12 with a steal and a block and 4 assists. Wendell Carter, 10 points, 5 boards. And I just think Wendell Carter is one of the most disappointing centers there is in the league because you have guys like, just off the top of my head, Neemias Queta, way less draft capital, should be way less talented, but he's way more productive than Wendell Carter. Wendell Carter puts up games like this pretty much on a daily basis. 10 and 5, no block. Wendell Carter is too talented to be doing that. I don't know what type of scheme they're running. I don't know if he's just coasting. I don't know if this is just the best he's got, but I don't think it is. He should be getting 14 and 10 every night and a block or 2. So I want to see Wendell Carter step it up. And it's not been happening, basically since he left Chicago. So I don't know if he needs, Patrick Ewing used to coach for the Magic. He might need to talk to Patrick, Olajuwon or something. But anyway, every night I see Wendell Carter's line, and it's disappointing. He's continuing to start, but like when Goga Badase plays, his numbers are way better than Wendell Carter. And Goga was a DMP. They have Mo Wagner. His numbers are better than Wendell Carter's when he played. He only played 4 minutes. So at some point, Wendell Carter's going to have to step it up or get out of that Orlando, honestly, for them to be successful. Orlando's 24-22 right now. They should be better than that also. Desmond Bain with 23 and 5 assists with 2 steals. Jalen Suggs with 16 and 5 with 4 assists and a block. Anthony Black had a tremendous game with 26 points, 7 boards, 5 assists, 4 steals, and 2 blocks. This is a tremendous game. Like, probably the best game of the year for Anthony Black. Like, he will not have a better game. It's hard to be better than this. 26, 7 and 5, 4 steals and 2 blocks. 11 for 19 from the field. Incredible. People were worried about when Suggs came back, how would Black do? And he's still killing it, honestly. There's no Franz Wagner. So that's the next thing we're going to have to worry about. But it looks like Anthony Black has just really made the leap this year. Off the bench, Tristan Da Silva with 12 points, 4 assists, 3 steals. No one else really did anything for the Magic. For the Heat, Andrew Wiggins 16 and 5 with the steal and a block. Bam Adebayo 21 and 12 with 7 assists and 2 steals. Norman Powell 22 points, 2 boards and 1 block. Pelle Larsson started, had 8 points, 9 boards and a steal. Kasper Giacchino started. That's what we want to see. But he only had 2 points and 2 steals, 1 for 4 from the field. I would like to see him get more leeway to play out there. He started, only played 20 minutes. Let him play 30 minutes. But Spoelstra doesn't really do that with young guys, as we know with Khalil Ware. So Khalil Ware, speaking of him, 7 minutes tonight. 4 boards, 4 points, and a block. And that's great production in 7 minutes. So imagine that was 28 minutes. But yeah, it's going to take injuries for Spo to force the young guys to play. But Kasper Giacchino and Khalil Ware and Jaime Jaquez need to be getting a lot of minutes for this team to get better and grow. But if they keep going like this, they're just going to keep being an average team. Jaime Jaquez Jr., 13 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, 4 turnovers as well. Simone Fontecchio, 23 points, 5 boards, and a block. Drew Smith had 13 and 7 assists off the bench. That's a good game for a bench player. Next game, the Knicks defeated the Raptors 119-92. OG had 26 and 5 assists with 6 steals and 2 blocks. So he had to outdo Dyson Daniels, who had 5. 26, 5 assists, 6 steals, and 2 blocks. That's crazy. That's a crazy line for OG. It deserves recognition. There you have it. Karl Anthony Towns had a weird game. 3 for 11 from the field with 8 points. But he had 22 rebounds. That's incredible. That's unusual for Cat. Normally, 10 to 14. Yeah, 22. He went off on the boards. And he had a block as well. You just wish he didn't go 3 for 11 from the field tonight. But it's give and take. Josh Hart filled in with the points to help out with 22 points, 5 boards, 6 assists, and 2 steals. Mikal Bridges had 30 points. He went on a tear there, scored like 11 points in a row. 30 points, 4 assists, a steal and a block. 12 for 15 from the field. Tremendous field goal percentage. Great game by Mikal. And, he has a lot of coasting type of games, like 10 points, 12 points, 14 points. But tonight he showed you what he can do offensively. And you wonder if you will get more of this from him. Because, he was so efficient and necessary for the Knicks tonight to put up some points. Jalen Brunson took a backseat in the scoring, had 13 points, 4 assists, and a block. Landry Shamet had 9 points, 4 boards off the bench. Mitchell Robinson did not play. And so that's about it. I will mention Tyler Kolek. It was a blowout. He only had 5 points, but he had 10 assists in 20 minutes. That's great production. Miles McBride did not play either. All right, for the Raptors, Brandon Ingram, 27 points, 6 boards, 3 steals. RJ Barrett, 14 and 8. Scotty Barnes, 17 and 10 with 5 assists and a block. Unfortunately, 5 turnovers. But Scotty and I will say Colin Murray Boyles were playing very well in the first half, but it just happened to be a blowout. These numbers would have looked much better. Quickly started off slow from the jump. 7 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, and a steal. And we've seen Quickly go off. He had a 40-something point game the other night, but it's too many of these down games for Quickly as well. He's not consistent, and you need that in your starting point guard. And if you're not going to score, you got to have assists. He only had 3 assists, 7 points. That's not going to cut it. And he's been rumored in the trade market, and that's why you have to be more consistent. Sandro Mamuxasbelly, 9 and 4 with a steal and 3 blocks. Tremendous block rate for Sandro. And Grady Dick had 11 points and 3 boards. And Grady Dick should be playing more. No one else off the bench did anything, literally. Like the rest of the bench players, 6 of them combined for 3 points. That was all Jamal Shed. That's kind of crazy. Next game, the Timberwolves defeated the Mavs 118-105. Julius Randle went off for 31 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, and a steal. A lot of starters did nothing offensively. Jaden McDaniels, 8. Rudy Gobert, 6. Dante DiVincenzo, 8 points. So Rudy has 6 boards, 2 blocks, 2 steals. That's great. DiVincenzo has 5 steals. A lot of steals tonight, y'all. But the scoring wasn't there. But they didn't need it. They still won. Anthony Edwards, 20 points, 6 boards, 6 assists, 3 steals, and a block. So great defense by Minnesota. You know that. Joan Behringer got some minutes off the bench, 9 points, 4 boards. And that is because Nas Reed played. Nas had 23 and 8 with 3 steals and a block. So that's good information for you guys to know. Joan Behringer, the rookie, he's like the 17th pick in the draft. Raw, big, can get blocks, rebounds, out of this world. Long arms. And we know he is kind of drafted to be Rudy Gobert's backup for the future. Like, it's possible he wouldn't play at all this year. He got 16 minutes tonight. That's something to take note of. This is deeper leagues. There's no injury right now. But if Rudy Gobert was to miss time, this lets you know Joan Behringer might get a lot of minutes. Bones Highland has 7 points. That's about it. Mike Conley, 6 and 5. For the Mavs, no Cooper Flag, no AD, of course. But Daniel Gafford was back. He had 14 and 6 with a steal in 21 minutes. It's just good to see him back on the floor and not banged up on the trainer's table. PJ Washington, 21 and 7 with 2 blocks. Najee Marshall, 18 and 6 with a block. Max Christie, 9 and 4 with the steal. Brandon Williams off the bench was 17 and 5. Nice game for him. Jaden Hardy back in the rotation, 11 points and a steal. Klay Thompson did not play because of knee soreness, and D'Angelo Russell did not play as the coach's decision. So we talked about Jaden Hardy and D'Angelo Russell did not play as coach decisions a few games ago. And I was like, are they both in the doghouse? But Hardy played 24 minutes tonight. D'Angelo still no run off the bench. So, and that's with no Cooper Flag, no AD, no Klay Thompson. So D'Angelo is not playing for this team until after the trade deadline, if he's still on this team. And then he still may be released after the trade line if he's not traded. It's just crazy how the mighty have fallen. And it just could be the relationship with the coach, because we know D'Angelo Russell still is he's a flawed player, but he's still a good player, and that's what coaching is about. If he goes out there and throws so many wild passes, reel him in. If he's shooting too much, reel him in. So Coach Jason Kidd is like, I don't want to deal with this guy at all. So it's kind of crazy. Next game, the Warriors blew out the Jazz, surprisingly, 140-124. I say surprisingly because Jimmy Butler's not there, and Kuminga's not there. But the Jazz are the Jazz as well, so it's not too surprising. But Draymond Green, 0 points. He did have 6 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks, but 23 minutes and 0 points. Draymond is on a super decline. He goes on his podcast and talks about all the other players and teams and how bad they are, like how bad the Hornets are. But Draymond is not playing well at all, nowhere near his standards. So he's got to focus on himself before he talks about anybody else. Al Horford started 9 points, 8 assists, 5 boards, 3 blocks, and a steal. Tremendous game from Horford. That's the type of production we hoped for him all year, but he's been in and out of the lineup and mainly out of the lineup. But if he can do this on a daily basis, miss a game here or there, he's a very valuable fantasy asset. It's just he hasn't been available. So keep an eye out on Al Horford. Steph Curry, 27 points, 5 turnovers, but 2 steals. So great game offensively, not a great game turnover-wise. Moses Moody, huge 26-point performance, 5 boards and 2 steals, 9 for 15 from the field. I told you guys Moses Moody could do this. It's just a matter of him stepping it up. Like they played a game the other night without Steph, and I was disappointed because he didn't do this then. But he did it with Steph. So he may need Steph to be his best or be more comfortable out there. I don't know. But Moses can put up some points. Off the bench, Gui Santos finally had a good game. 16 and 4 assists, 3 boards, 2 steals, 2 blocks. He's been starting a couple of games and done nothing. So he comes off the bench in this one, and then he shows up. So he may be more comfortable in this role. Quentin Post, 10 and 6. Buddy Hield, 13 points, 4 assists. DeAnthony Melton, 12 points, 3 steals. And Will Richard, 13 points, 5 boards, 3 steals. They have a lot of interesting prospects, I'm telling you. And GP did not play and Kuminga did not play. For Utah, Lauri Markkanen, 18 points, 2 steals and a block. Yusuf Nurkic, 11, 5, and 5 with a steal. Svi started again. Svi did nothing again. Keontae George, 19, 7, and 7 with 2 steals. Ace Bailey, 19 and 7 with 4 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. And I told you guys, second half of the season, Ace Bailey ramping up. Another great performance. I saw he's not in the rookie sophomore game because it's a weird game now. I don't even know if it's rookie sophomore anymore. Rookie young guy game, whatever. And that's kind of a travesty. I mean, it's just ridiculous. He should be in that game, but we'll see if he'll be there at All-Star Weekend. Kyle Filipowski, 12 points, 2 steals. Bryce Sensabaugh, huge 22-point performance off the bench with 2 steals. Isaiah Collier, 12 and 6 assists with 4 steals. Great game by Collier with 4 steals. And next and last final game, the Spurs defeated the Rockets 111-99. And that game finished so late. That's why I'm up so late. But I had to give you this guy, this information. Wembanyama, 28 points, 16 boards, 2 steals, 5 blocks. We've been hearing about we've been hearing a lot about steals. Victor brought the steals and the blocks, and I'm ready to go to bed. But De'Aaron Fox, 18 points, 8 assists, 5 boards, 5 turnovers, unfortunately, but also a block. Steph Castle, 16, 5, and 6 with 2 steals. Really good game from him. Harrison Barnes and Julius Champagnie did not much at all. Barnes had 9 points, but they were not productive as starters. Keldon Johnson had 17 and 7 with 5 assists. And at this point, he needs to start over Harrison Barnes or Julian Champagnie, one or the other. He's been playing better than them for a while. You can say the same for Dylan Harper. He should be starting. 16 points, 4 boards, and a block. So we'll see how this rotation goes. But Dylan Harper was second pick in the draft. Get that man on the court. You don't have to start Harrison Barnes or Julian Champagnie. Get Dylan Harper on the court. The Spurs are 32 and 15. But so that's why he's not. They're working with what's working. It's working. They're developing him slowly. But I would love to see Dylan Harper out there. And I got to mention Devin Vassell. He's back from injury, played 23 minutes off the bench, but only had 5 points. Had a bad game, honestly, but it was okay because they beat the Rockets by 12. For the Rockets, Kevin Durant, 24 and 6 assists with a block. Jabari Smith, 8 and 7 with a steal. Tari Eason, 10 and 6 with 3 steals and a block. Alperen Sengun, 18 and 10, 7 assists, 2 steals. He should be an all-star. We'll see. Amen Thompson, if he played like this every night, he would be an all-star. 25 and 7, 4 assists, 3 steals and a block. Off the bench, Reed Shepherd, 9 and 5 with a steal and 2 blocks. Now, that was a huge slate of games. A lot of information for you guys to take in. Fortunately, no huge injuries, but a lot of great basketball. Let's go over the players of the night. Musa Diabate with his 18 and 19. Jaren Jackson Jr., 26 points. Luka, 29 and 6. Donovan Mitchell, 25 and 5. Vucevic, 25 and 9. Nembhard, 18, 6 and 9 assists. Dyson Daniels, 15, 6, 9 assists, and 5 steals. Jaylen Brown, 21 and 7. Paolo Banchero, 31 and 12. Bam, 21, 12, and 7 assists. OG, 26 points, 6 steals. Brandon Ingram, 27 and 6 with 3 steals. Julius Randle, 31 points. PJ Washington, 21 and 7. Moses Moody, 26 points. Steph had 27. I'll give it to him. Ace Bailey with 19 and 7. Victor Wembanyama, 28, 16, and 5. Crazy numbers. And those 5 were blocks. Great game. Amen Thompson, 25, 7, and 4 steals. So, what a great night of basketball. And we got some questions tonight to wrap up the game. Appreciate you guys for asking your questions. Let's see who we got. We got Mr. Wonderful asking, who do you like? CMB, Jalen Smith, or Diabate? ROS. I can't even think of who that is right now. Colin Murray Bulls, Jalen Smith, or Diabate? I would have to say Diabate right now. If I don't know who ROS is right now, but Diabate, like I said, 18 and 19 tonight. He has the clear path for that starter role in Charlotte. Jalen Smith comes off the bench most of the time. He's solid, but he's not going to provide you anything that if you don't pick him, like, oh, no, I missed out on Jalen Smith. You know, he's just kind of a guy. Colin Murray Bulls, very talented young prospect, but he's kind of sharing the court with Sandro Mucklesveli. Jakob Pertl, he's not done for the year. Will he be back? It's possible. And so that's only going to hurt him. And Colin Murray Bulls is playing good right now. He's not playing great. He did just come off an injury. Of course, Dynasty, Colin Murray Bulls is the answer. But redraft, you have to go with Musa Diabate right now. He has the clear path to remain in his spot. Kalkbrenner's not doing it right now. Eventually, Kalkbrenner will step up, we hope. But Colin Murray Bulls has some guys around. I would say Colin Murray Bulls is second right now because of his upside. If you just want super safe, no, I wouldn't pick Jalen Smith, though. No, not over those 3. And we have one more question from Steve A. 1056. He says, fixing to drop Ayton. And depending on who you pick up, depending on the size of your league, that is totally understandable. Ayton is another guy. Like I was talking about Wendell Carter Jr., DeAndre Ayton is, I say he's way better than he's playing, but I don't even know if that's true anymore. This may just be DeAndre Ayton. You should not have to babysit DeAndre Ayton and have the perfect coach, perfect team, perfect system for him to play well, which he was doing so well in Phoenix when Chris Paul was there. Once Chris Paul left Phoenix, Ayton went downhill tremendously. So he either needs Chris Paul or a really smart point guard, a true point guard, to play well. Otherwise, it's just been disappointing. So Shallow leagues, there are bigs out there that can put up the same type of numbers as Aiden and possibly more. It's just so disappointing. You think he's on the Lakers, he should have a great season. He's got LeBron, he's got Luka. Austin Reeves will be back, and Austin Reeves is not there. So it's more opportunities for Aiden now, and he's just not doing it. So I understand the feeling of wanting to drop Aiden, but I will say it depends who's on the waiver wire. Also, check and see if you can trade him. People see that name DeAndre Ayton, they still think first pick in the draft, center, Lakers, great position. Maybe when Austin Reeves comes back, maybe it'll get better. So you are frustrated with him. But just remember, there are other guys in your league that are like, oh, my center just got hurt. They may have AD. I need a center. It's other centers that are out right now. Nemius Kata's sick, whatever. I need a center, or they just didn't draft that many centers. So you possibly could trade him because of his name. His numbers are bad, but not to people that are in need of centers. So thank you guys so much again for listening to the Box Score Breakdown. I love being on with you guys. Follow me on X at William is Bill. Any more questions, keeping up with the news and notes of the day, follow us at Ethos Fantasy NBA, at SportsEthos. Comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tim Woodson will be back with you guys tomorrow for tomorrow's lineup. Admiral Nita, shout out to you as well. Thanks for watching. Until next time, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.